Mhm.
Trevor's just waiting to get in. He sent me a text, so you can let him in. Just wait one moment. There he is. Okay. Well, welcome everyone to the City of Warman regular meeting of council on this 22nd day of February 2021. I call this meeting to order. We'll start with any announcements. Any announcements? Hearing none, I'll ask for a motion for the approval of the agenda. Councillor Peterson.
I'd like to make the motion to approve the February 22nd, 2021 regular meeting of council agenda as presented.
Seconder. Councillor Johnson. Any errors or any additions? Hearing none, all those in favor? Carried. We'll move down to public hearings. And we first need a motion to go into public hearing. So looking for a motion. Councillor Seed.
So make the motion that the regular meeting of council be recessed to hold a public hearing on proposed bylaw 2021-01 and a bylaw to rezone a portion of 920 Centennial Boulevard and Southland Stage 5.
Seconder for that. Councillor Ramage. Anyone here to speak to that? I noticed I missed the minutes. We'll go back to that after this hearing's over. Anybody here to speak to this?
Mayor Philipchuk, Planning and Development has received no comments or questions regarding this application prior to the public hearing.
Okay. So I declare the hearing is opened, and hearing no other comments, I'll give a little bit more time if there's anyone online. I declare the public hearing concerning proposed bylaw 2021-01 closed. Okay, we'll go back to minutes. Sorry about that. A motion for minutes. Councillor Ramage.
I make the motion to adopt the minutes from the February 8th, 2021 regular meeting of council as presented.
Seconder for that. Councillor Beck. Any questions? Hearing none. All those in favor? Carried. Okay, we'll go back to our second public hearing, and I'm looking for a motion for 2021-02. Councillor Seed.
Again, I'd like to make the motion that the regular meeting of council be recessed to hold a public hearing on proposed bylaw 2021-02, a bylaw to amend the OCP to reflect the change in land use at the Stonegate site.
Seconder. Councillor Peterson. I declare the public hearing concerning proposed bylaw 2021 open. Any questions or comments, or anyone want to speak to that? And Manager Toth, anything there?
Mayor Philipchuk, we received no questions or comments regarding this bylaw during the advertising period prior to the public hearing.
Okay, I declare, hearing nothing, I declare the public hearing concerning proposed bylaw 2021-02 closed. We will move down to admin reports. We'll start with Finance Manager, Rosenthal Hebert.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Please find below 3 items for Council's consideration at tonight's regular meeting of Council. The first item I have on my report is the Deloitte Audit Service Plan. Deloitte has provided audit services for the City of Warman for the past 6 fiscal years. Attached on Appendix A is the 2020 Audit Service Plan from Deloitte. This package details Deloitte's planned audit approach for the audit of the 2020 financial statements for the City of Warman, including the following important details: materiality of $680,000, significant audit risks of revenue recognition and management override of controls, a targeted completion date in June of 2021, and a fee of $36,275, which is a slight increase from 2019 due to the preparation of the municipal annual expenditure report, or the merit report. The recommendation that I have is that Deloitte be appointed the auditor for the City of Warman in accordance with the Cities Act for the 2020 fiscal year at this regular meeting of Council.
Motion, Councillor Beck.
Thank you very much, Mayor Feldchuk. So I would like to make the motion that Deloitte be appointed the auditor for the City of Warman in accordance with the Cities Act, Section 159 for the 2020 fiscal year at this regular meeting of Council.
Seconder, Councillor Tooley. Any questions or comments? Councillor Beck.
Yeah, so this year I just wanted to certainly, just make the comments, let's say for anybody, let's say listening in, why the fee is higher. Certainly with this year, like this is a municipal annual expenditure report that Deloitte will be doing. However, it is completely separate and let's say over and above, let's say like a regular audit. So certainly with this year, as has been recommended that this year, does get done, and that certainly speaks to the increase of fees and also let's say the work being done by Deloitte in this case. So I just wanted to just make that note. Thank you.
Thank you. Other questions or comments? Hearing none. All those in favor? Carried.
Thank you. The second item I have is an HR policy amendment. Administration is requesting Council's approval and making the following amendments to HR policy, benefits policy HR 700. As background information, employees of the City of Warman are responsible for paying short-term and long-term disability premiums. The City of Warman pays the premiums for the following employee benefits: extended health care, dental care, employee and family assistance, group life insurance, vision care, and accidental death and disability insurance. Administration is requesting within Section 2 of the benefits policy to state that if an employee is on long-term disability for more than 2 years, that the employee becomes responsible for paying the total premiums for group benefits. The reason for this requested amendment is that after 2 years on long-term disability, the probability of an employee returning to work lessens substantially. This amendment allows the employee to maintain their benefits at their own cost. If the employee returns to work, the city will resume payment of the benefits on the employee's behalf. Also included as an amendment is that after 2 years on long-term disability, the city will pay out any outstanding entitlements. These entitlements are a liability to the city, so it is preferable to pay them out. Within Section 5 of the policy, administration would like to revise the entitlement to the $50 end-of-year gift to include those employees on an approved leave of absence for less than 6 months or on short-term disability. The reason is to provide fairness to the entitlement. Under the current wording, an employee could work 11 months out of the year, but go on a leave at the end of November, leaving them no longer entitled to the benefit. However, an employee who only provided services to the city for 1 month of the year would receive the check. This amendment recognizes employees who have worked for the majority of the year but are on leave at the end of the year. Administration recommends that the amendments to benefits policy HR 700 be adopted at this regular meeting of Council.
Motion, Councillor Ramage.
I'd like to make a motion that the amendments to benefits policy HR 700 be adopted at this regular meeting of Council.
Seconder, Councillor Johnson. Questions or comments? Hearing none. All those in favor? Opposed? Carried.
And the third item I have is the District Board of Revision appointment. The City of Warman is required to appoint a representative to serve as the city's Board of Revisions every year. These services are required to handle any appeals relating to property assessments throughout the city. North Sask Board Services Act is acted as the City of Warman's Board of Revisions for the 2019 and 2020 years, and administration was satisfied with the level of communication as well as the timeliness of results. The North Sask Administration is recommending that the North Sask Board Services be contracted to provide Board of Revision services for the City of Warman Municipal Board for 2021 at this regular meeting of council.
Motion. Councillor Tooley.
I will make the motion that the North Sask Board Services be contracted to provide border revision services for the City of Warman Municipal Board for 2021 at this regular meeting of council. Appointed board members or board revision members include Timothy Furlong, Kirby Fesser, Glenn Newart, and the appointed border revision secretary, and please forgive me, Mike, if I get this incorrect, but Mike Littermote.
Seconder for the motion, Councillor Beck. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, all those in favor? Carried.
Thank you.
Welcome, thanks. Manager Rosenthal Hebert. Let's move down to planning. Manager Toth.
Thank you, Mayor Philipchuk, members of council. A couple of items for discussion tonight. The first is related to two bylaws, bylaw 2021-01 and bylaw 2021-02. With the focus on multi-unit development in Warman lately, planning and development has noticed a couple of errors on our zoning map, which was redone in 2016. Unfortunately, through the creation of the new map, the changes to R3 zoning on the eastern portion of Stonegate site was missed. Council had previously rezoned this site as part of an agreement with Abatex in 2016. In addition, some lots in Southland Stage 5 were incorrectly zoned based on their size. This bylaw will correct any errors associated with that. A portion of the subdivision was intended to be zoned R2T due to the frontage width of the lots. Similarly, the parks and buffer strips were not zoned appropriately to CS community service. In addition to these land use amendments, a bylaw amendment will be required to update the OCP at the same time. I've attached the original bylaw for council's consideration. I've also included both the new bylaw 2021-01 and bylaw 2021-02. First reading was given to both of these bylaws at the regular meeting of council on January 25th. Since then, the bylaw amendments have advertised for 2 consecutive weeks. No questions or concerns have been raised. Administration has 2 recommendations for council to consider tonight.
So motion for second reading of 2021-01. Councillor Seed.
Make the motion that bylaw 2021-01 be read a second time.
Seconder. Councillor Peterson. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, all those in favor? Carried. And for third reading? Councillor Beck.
Thank you. I would like to make a motion that bylaw 2021-02, a bylaw to amend the OCP.
01, sorry.
Oh, pardon me, 01. To rezone a portion of the 920 Centennial Boulevard and Southlands Stage 5 be read a third time and passed, and that bylaw 2021-01 be adopted, sealed, and signed by the mayor and city clerk. Thank you.
Seconder for that? Councillor C. Any questions or comments? All in favor? Carried. We'll move down to second reading for 02. So we want to make that motion. Councillor Tooley.
I'll motion that bylaw 2021-02 be read a second time.
Seconder for that motion. Councillor Ramage. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, all those in favor? Opposed? Carried. Okay. And for third reading, Councillor Peterson.
I'd like to make the motion that bylaw 2021-02, a bylaw to amend the OCP to reflect the change in land use at the Stonegate site, be read a third time and passed, and that bylaw 2021-02 be adopted, sealed, and signed by the mayor and city clerk.
Seconder for the motion, Councillor Johnson. Any questions or comments? Hearing none. All those in favor? Carried.
Thank you. The third item I have for discussion tonight is related to a zoning bylaw amendment request from administration, bylaw 2021-03. Administration is finding it difficult to subdivide large commercial sites up while providing both legal and physical access to each subdivided parcel. The Planning and Development Act of Saskatchewan requires any subdivision to have both physical and legal access in order to be approved. Other provinces or jurisdictions do sometimes deal with these situations through joint use or joint access agreements. However, this is not an option in Saskatchewan when we're not our own approving authority. Our current definition of frontage in our zoning bylaw reads as follows: the side of a lot abutting the street. However, in the case of a corner lot, the shorter side shall be the frontage. Administration is requesting that in addition to that, we add, in the case of an irregular, non-rectangular lot, the frontage shall be the mean of the front lot line and rear lot line. We provided a bit of an example there for council's consideration. In addition, this wording was given to us directly from the province as they've run into this situation in other jurisdictions, and this has worked well for those places. I should note this is just first reading tonight. We'll be including it as part of my committee of the whole report. If there's further information or other questions that council would like requested, we would bring it back near the end of March for a second and third reading, as well as the public hearing. So the recommendation tonight is that council give bylaw 2021-03 first reading.
Motion, please. Councillor Johnson.
I'll make the motion that council give bylaw 2021-03 first reading with the intent to hold a public hearing and a second and third reading at the regular meeting of council on March 22nd, 2021, after the bylaw has had time to advertise.
Seconder for the motion, Councillor Seed. Any questions or comments? Hearing none. All those in favor? Carried.
Thank you.
A motion to file admin reports. Councillor Ramage.
I make a motion to file the administration reports for February 22nd, 2021 as presented.
Seconder for the motion, Councillor Tooley. Any questions? Hearing none. All those in favor? Carried. Move down to council and start with my report. If there's any questions from that, you can see the theme was all about people again, the great people we have in the city of Warman, and that's also my media release this month is about phenomenal job that all people have done this last year, stepping up in so many ways, and you see it over and over again, and really so much is about attitude, and that's really what I was trying to present there, what I've seen along the way, and all the other, everything else there is for information. And as I said, we'll hang around after to come up with a final date that we can give Manager Smith for the strategic planning. That's all I have for a decision. Any questions there? Also have the Youth Council representative report from Julian. Julian didn't make it, I see. He was double booked. So I can't answer those questions. So I'm looking for a motion to file my report. Councillor Seed.
Make a motion that the mayor's report and the youth council representatives report for February 22nd, 2021 be filed as presented.
Seconder. Councillor Beck. Any questions? Hearing none. All those in favor? Carried. We'll move to round table. We'll start with Councillor Beck.
Right. Well, thank you, Mayor Philipchuk. And certainly a busy time between last council meeting and this one. This year, we did finish off the municipalities of Saskatchewan conference and whatnot. So, yeah, this year was certainly a challenge. for municipalities of Saskatchewan to hold that virtual conference. Obviously, with this year, with most online things, especially of something that large and whatnot, there were certainly some technical glitches, but definitely like there was opportunity to take in some of those. Let's say some of those discussions and presentations. The link does remain active. So with this year, we can certainly go back and we can certainly pick up some of those messages. So I'd certainly invite council to to go back and look at let's say like all of those sessions there again, and certainly walk away with some additional content. So I don't really have much to report on specific outtakes from there, but certainly with this year, one of the new things that we did have this year is we did have 2 keynote speakers, and both of them presented very, very well. And certainly like feedback from that, I did have a debrief with another community council, and they were actually very, very happy with the platform and how everything worked out, and whatnot. So certainly things on that front, we did get some good feedback already. Regarding feedback, municipalities of Saskatchewan did send out a link looking for feedback from all of our members and whatnot. So hopefully each of you can take the time to complete that and send that in. Because while obviously we hope to be in person next year, with this year likely going forward, I can see a portion of whatever we do to certainly facilitate the virtual aspect. We did get some buy-in from other communities that might not have otherwise let's say attended. So we certainly have that aspect to certainly consider consider going forward. So certainly the your recap would certainly be important information for us to get. We do have a Municipalities of Saskatchewan board meeting coming up. I will tell you one of the pieces of information coming forward will be regarding ambulances, and that kind of thing. I was just at a public safety and health meeting earlier this morning. We are not the only community out there with ambulance service challenges. So a very complete document should be coming forward as to let's say how many other contracts are out there in Saskatchewan. So that could certainly help us in terms of let's say like our issues going forward. So as soon as I get that document, I will certainly send that off to you, Gary, and that kind of thing. So that way there you'll have that. But yeah, that will have, let's say, the inventory from across the province regarding ambulance service, private and or I guess private contracts versus Saskatchewan Health. So we will have that information there coming forward. There's another important update that's going to be coming my way, probably Thursday or Friday of this week. The RCMP contract renegotiations should have some information for us. So there again, Gary, I will send that off to you, and you can send that to the appropriate department as that goes forward, and that kind of thing. Just to certainly keep you in the loop with what's happening there. So there again, some pretty big subjects that have a lot of legs right now, and whatnot. But I will keep you abreast. Beyond that, there, both Doug and I, we did have a Remembrance Day committee meeting. With this year, we had received 2 letters from the community following the Remembrance Day ceremonies in 2020. So certainly from that there, I will say that the Remembrance Day Committee, we had some very robust discussion regarding some changes that we could certainly make to certainly incorporate the criticisms that we got. And I will say that one of the letters was very much in support, for the activities that that we had. So we had some really good discussion on that, some really good ideas from around the table, and a letter will be coming forth to council suggesting some of the changes that that will be made. Certainly with the popularity of the service that we've had in previous years, we're not looking at making wholesale changes, not whatever, but there will be some tweaks that are going to be had in there, and then that will be up to council to approve or make recommendations at that particular time. So we will have that coming forward here in time. That's my report for now. Thank you, Gary.
Thank you, Councillor Beck, and we'll move to Councillor Johnson.
Thank you, Mayor Philipchuk. Tomorrow I have my Prairie Reconciliation meeting tomorrow, and I'm excited to bring, I think it's 6 classes, grade 7 classes of kids to watch and listen to Kyle Charles, who's a cartoonist for Marvel and speaks with the Indigenous voice. So it'll be nice to see them and get some feedback from them after, and maybe create some cartoons in the classroom. I did go back and watch some videos on Saturday night and send a bunch of emails to City Manager Smith. So sorry, City Manager Smith. But I went back to the Municipalities of Saskatchewan conference and was watching the Governance 101 that was suggested, and a few of the videos, as well as the talk with Honorable Warren Kading on the environment. So as that is my lead position, I got some good knowledge and some information, and then asked some questions again of City Manager Smith on my Saturday night. So that's all I have for today.
Thank you, Councillor Johnson. We'll move to Councillor Seed.
Thank you, Mayor Philipchuk. As for the last council meeting, it's been fairly steady with meetings regarding the RCMP. I'm happy to hear that Councillor Beck is bringing forth some more information regarding the ambulance service, because that's also been a very hot topic that's been discussed quite a bit, and we're looking forward to making some positive changes with regards to that. Going forward, I just wanted to remind everybody that we do have a new staff sergeant. I'd like to welcome Barry Thomas to the position, as well as publicly thank Staff Sergeant Dion Marquis, who is transitioned now out, but we'll still kind of be keeping an eye on Warman as he transfers to division, and obviously has some invested time here. So it'll be in my newsletter report as well, but I think it's very important to recognize the efforts of Sergeant Marquis, as he really stepped into a little bit of a mess as far as organizational structure between the departments, and was quite successful in implementing some very positive changes and communication and efficiencies that were involved in there. So going forward, as maybe some have heard, we have another strategy meeting with the RCMP on Wednesday involving the city of Martensville. So we're looking forward to have some discussion there as far as what the future is and what they're looking to bring for policing within our 2 communities. Short of that, I do know that Warman has received their new water tender, and we should anticipate that being commissioned. I think within a week or so. There was one small problem, little hiccup that is going to be taken care of by Chief Austin and his crew, and then we'll publicly be able to commission that fire truck and put it into service. So, short of that, yeah, we'll keep going. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Seed. Councillor Peterson.
Looking forward to Thursday to the business meeting with the Prairie Sky Chamber of Commerce and the City of Martensville, and be the first meeting I'll have attended where Brendan, our new economic development officer, should be there. So that's about it.
Thank you. Councillor Ramage.
Thanks, Mayor Philipchuk. As Councillor Beck mentioned, I had the first opportunity to attend a Remembrance Day committee meeting. It was great to get to know the group, and yeah, there was definitely a robust discussion about the 2 letters, one with the criticism and one in support. And we recognize that the value that the Remembrance Day ceremony has for the current residents, and the importance and what the Remembrance Day ceremony is really about. But we also had a discussion about how we can make some tweaks in terms of being more inclusive and recognizing others that are also in attendance. So I think that was overall really good discussion. Other than that, focus continues to be on that intersection of Clubhouse and First, and I'm looking forward for the information that'll come back from administration coming out of our committee of the whole meeting, and to keep this moving forward.
Thank you. Councillor Tooley.
Thank you, Your Worship. Not a lot to report for myself. We did have a library board meeting last Wednesday evening, where we welcomed a new member to the library board, which was in the last library minutes, which was last council meeting. And I believe that's going to be, our city clerk is going to be sending out a welcome letter to that particular new member. This week, I do have a Recreation Advisory Committee meeting on Wednesday evening. Looking forward to that. And outside of that, that's really all I got going on. So thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Tooley. We'll move down to accounts then. So need a motion for accounts? Councillor Johnson.
Thank you. I'll make the motion that council approve the city accounts as presented by checks numbered 24734 to 24800 for the total amount of $944,702.55, and the payroll vouchers numbered 11835 to 11905 in the amount of $103,500.75 for February 22nd, 2021.
Seconder. Councillor Ramage. Any questions? Hearing none, all those in favor? Carried. Motion to adjourn. Councillor Tooley.
I'll make the motion to adjourn the February 22nd, 2021 regular meeting of council.
Seconder. Councillor Seed. All those in favor? Carried. So if we could just hang on, thanks everyone. We'll just talk about a date for the strategic planning.